Hey, what's going on, guys? MLB The Show 26 update 1.006 just landed, and this one is one of those patches that looks pretty clean on the surface, but actually touches a bunch of important areas. What makes this patch worth paying attention to is that it is not just one of those "we fixed a typo and called it a day" updates. It brings in brand new 2026 City Connect uniforms for the Braves, Orioles, Reds, Royals, Brewers, and Padres. So if you like seeing your favorite teams get fresh looks in-game, that is one of the headline additions right away. It also corrects a home run boundary issue in right field at Oracle Park, which matters more than people might think, because stadium-specific quirks can absolutely change how a ballpark plays and how fair or weird a home run feels in the moment. Now, on the Diamond Dynasty side, there are a handful of fixes here that sound pretty technical, but they should make the mode run a lot more smoothly overall. The update fixes an issue where the wrong MLB team could show up after completing live series collections, which is the kind of thing that can really throw off the presentation and make rewards feel less polished than they should. It also addresses a freeze that could happen after leaving a moment, a bug that could stop a session dead in its tracks when you are just trying to keep moving through content. On top of that, the patch fixes a problem that could prevent users from assigning or removing a captain, which is a big deal because that system is tied directly to team-building strategy. It also resolves a server exception that could happen when entering classic mini-seasons, and it cleans up an issue where player card art could appear static or corrupted. So from a gameplay experience angle, this looks like a stability and presentation cleanup pass that should make Diamond Dynasty feel less messy and more reliable during normal play. Franchise mode gets a pretty meaningful set of updates too, and this is probably the section a lot of long-term players are going to care about the most. The Trade Hub now has a recommended market strategy feature with a help button, which should make that part of the mode a little easier to understand when you are trying to make the right kind of move instead of guessing your way through menus. The instructional text inside Trade Hub screens has also been refreshed, and trade alerts now show top prospects more clearly while adding page numbers and color highlights when there are multiple pages to flip through. That sounds like a quality of life change, but in a mode like Franchise, clearer menu feedback can save a ton of time over the course of a season. The update also lets you change organizations from the Manage View Roster screen in Streamline mode, which adds a little more control to how you handle your front office setup. Then there is the crash fix for Fantasy Draft, which is a big one because memory-related crashes are the kind of problem that can waste a lot of progress and patience in one shot. The patch also fixes generated players showing up with mismatched appearances in future seasons, and it updates home game start times for the Cubs, Guardians, and Astros, with that timing change applying to new save files only. Road to the Show is not left out either. The update fixes an issue that stopped users from scrolling through recent pitching stats on the player card, which is the sort of thing that should just work without making you fight the interface. It also corrects wrong team names on the Draft Combine scoreboard, fixes a bug that could stop a player from being demoted even when performance should have triggered it, and resolves a freeze on the token reward screen. That combination tells you the focus here is making progression, presentation, and navigation feel smoother so the mode gets out of its own way. The patch also includes various menu interfaces across game modes, plus commentary improvements, so even though those notes are broad, they usually end up being the kind of polish that makes the whole package feel more finished when you spend enough time with it. There are also updated player models included in this patch, and that matters because model refreshes can make a surprisingly difference in how current the game feels. The official notes mention a long list of players getting updates, including names like Jose Alvarado, Jeff McNeil, Juan Duran, Mookie Betts, Juan Soto, Derek Jeter, Gleyber Torres, Ian Happ, James Wood, Bryce Eldridge, and several others. So overall, this update feels like a solid cleanup patch with a few meaningful presentation wins, a nice batch of franchise improvements, stability fixes for Diamond Dynasty, and a couple of important Road to the Show corrections. It is not trying to reinvent anything, but it does target a lot of the annoying edges that can make a sports game feel rough around the seams, and that is exactly the kind of patch that can make a real difference once you start playing a few games and moving through the menus again.